embark on a journey to explore the adoption of digital technologies for sustainable HR practices. Let us dive into this dynamic conversation with our distinguished speakers, starting from Honorable Mr. Nitin Kindriya, sir, Senior HR Head at Dalmia Biz Private Limited, alumnus of XLRI Jamshedpur. Next, we have with us Honorable Ms. Monica Garg, ma'am, Associate Director, Global HR Operations Support with Fresenius Medical Care, a global healthcare company headquartered in Germany. Ma'am has 18 plus years of experience and she is today the moderator of the session as well. Next, we have with us Honorable Ms. Preeti Sarkare, HR Wellspun Group. She is also the National Secretary at the Human Rights and Anti-Corruption Council India. She has completed her education master in personnel management from Pune University. We welcome you, ma'am, for the panel discussion. Next, I would like to invite Honorable Mr. Shubhankar Ghosh, sir, Vice President, Head Sales, HR, Spice Money. Sir has handled talent management, compensation and rewards. His association with various industry bodies make him a sought after HR leader. We welcome you all for the panel discussion too. Over to you, Monica, ma'am.
The technological inventions. So I started working in the era when we used to work in Excel, and then we started, automating all our administrative job and trying to bring it into, at that point in time, PeopleSoft used to be very, very, common tool across the organization who used to implement. So we used to work on automating those tasks into PeopleSoft. And then nowadays, in current scenario, we hear a lot of HR technologies available in the market. But at this point in time, I'll take a step back. Our topic is adoption and implementation of digital technology to optimize HR practices. But I would like to start this discussion by taking a step back and asking my fellow speakers as well, how do you see the adoption of digital technology in your respective organizations or in your experience in past? Because adopting a technology is not that easy. You need to have your basics in place first, and then only you can build it up into technology and then into AI, and that's how it works, right? While the COVID has pushed us to automate the things, because we need to work with different people who are at different places, working at different times, different locations, and virtual reality has come in, and that has pushed us to get into this automation part, digital technology, AI. Talking about AI, all these are buzzwords, I would say, at least for the Indian market and at least for the organization, which is not spread across different countries. It is a buzzword because we need to first put our basics in place, and that's how. And everybody's experience is different. Every organization, every industry's experience is very, very different. So from all of you, maybe we can one by one talk about this. But from your experience, Nitin sir, how do you see the digital technology changing the way of working and the HR practices in the organization?
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. First, I go back to the first session, right? The first panel session where we talked about the Alexa and the Hanuman Chalisa. When Rajveer was giving this example, I recall my mom, right? In the childhood lullaby, right? It can be a lodi, right? Or it can be some bhajan, right? So my Alexa is my mom, right? Morning, right? And still, right? She is my Alexa, right? My father is another Alexa, or what you call that nowadays? Siri. Not Siri, right? My father is Siri. Okay. I don't know, but very, very cool dad I have, right? And that's my mother is not hot. Okay. So Alexa and Siri, right? So my father and mom. When you talk about AI, right? I don't know what exactly, and people talk about COVID, pre-COVID, post-COVID. Actually, these are the people who don't understand the business. They only talk about pre-COVID and post-COVID. Because when you are in a business, you have to see the criticalities of the business, right? And you have to prepare yourself well in advance. You are in COVID or you are not in COVID, or you are waiting for another COVID to happen to be in a main business. And that's not the way I look into this thing. Second, we as an Indian professionals are very much concerned about the what's happening in the other part of the world. We adopt technologies, we adopt practices, and even in our colleges also. We still work on the Harvard Business Review, the Asia journals, and that's not the reality. Indian businesses are very, very different. Here we have the organized market, but our competition is with the unorganized market, right? We are sitting in Janakpuri, and not on a single mall in Janakpuri. We have Razori Garden Market, which do a business of crores in a day, which is 100 times bigger than the Pacific Mall itself. Right? So we need to understand the Indian business first of all, and that is what I request my colleges also. And when you talk about the what kind of stages we are in, right? As you rightly said, that we need to analyze our organization internally, because any kind of an implementation of technology is cost driven. First. Second is the capability of the internal organization. Are we ready to adapt new technology or not? What kind of a phase we are, right? What are our real challenges? How it is going to impact my business? We talk about startups, and because that you have talked about AI, not the startup. Because reality is this, that none of the startup is paying any of the tax to Indian government since the time they incepted. So they are actually the burden on Indian government and the Indian economy. While designing this conference, because the first session was on the design thinking, so I think thinking was missing or design was missing, or design thinking was missing. That we have to first concern about it. Because when we do any kind of a thing, AI is just an enabler. And why we are talking about AI, I never use Swiggy, I never use Zomato, and even Rohini. When I step out, right, there is a Kiryana shop, there is a milk shop, there is a cobbler, right, and I have high-end restaurants also, I have high-end malls also. So whatever I can do, I can do. And second thing, I have an iPhone, which count my steps also. So when you actually walk, right, so number of things you discuss and you thought internally. And AI is an enabler. What kind of a capacity I have, how much enablement I need to put it for my organization so that my business can grow further. If my business is going to earn the profits, then only I will distribute it for the further improvements of my organization. Either is respect to the technology or the business processes, right? That I have to see. So I think the sustainable HR practices is that as I'm going to make profits in coming 10 years or not, and how much. So that is what I feel that AI can contribute in it. The rest I will add it later on.
Completely agree. And before I move on to my next speaker, maybe I would like to further add on to this. But like we do, training need analysis before we design a training, program. It's very, very important to do a need analysis in organization, whether we really need it or we just need to want to go behind what word is adopting for themselves. Because everybody's needs are different. Every organizations, even within India, we have different sector, different organizations who are, into different fields. Not every one size doesn't fit all, and it's really important to first do an analysis around whether this is really needed, what value is this adding to our business, I mean, one thing which I always miss, as I mentioned, I have worked on a lot on these things wherein we are automating, the manual activities into converting it into, either in a tool, automating it in a tool, or maybe in a system. But we always look at how many man hours we are saving, and those man hours converting into the cost, how much it is. Organizations talking about it, and if they are not talking about the ROI, because every technology comes with a cost, and that cost, only those organizations will be able to invest who have a big cash flow, right? So, or they have a very complex need of having this. Any organization which don't have a complex need of having it, maybe it's not required. So that need analysis, definitely agree to you that it's really, really important that we understand the needs, and then we decide whether this technology is important for HR. Is it going to help our HR processes, or is it going to complicate our HR processes? Is something which we really need to understand. So coming to you now, I saw that you have done a lot of work around the training, development, TLOD, a part of it. And I was reading somewhere in different reports, folks also mentioned that 2024 would be the year of, skill and reskilling the resources. So how do you think, given your experience as well as, understanding our Indian market, how do you think we can adapt this digital technology to bring in some automation around, or maybe some independency around skilling and reskilling our resources?
Yeah, thank you, Monica. First of all, I would like to add two more words on your previous one also. That what we are going to do is that in a process part or in our practices, first of all, are we going to adapt it? Those who are working from us, from with our organization from 15 years, are they okay for this? Are they okay to learn that what is Power BI or what is AI part? Because AI and other all these tools, artificial intelligence and other tools that we are using it has come after COVID part only, that we are using it, right? So thing is that from using to mobile itself, from your home to your office itself, we are saying that there are many basic examples that we are using. Like Zomato is one of the examples. Then after we don't need to go to the bank. आजकल तो एक क्यू में जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ता है. That is one of the biggest part that everyone digitalized more. That is get adapted in most of the part, right? Not only parents, it is like a small children knows that how we are going to ship out our most of the day-to-day activities, right? So if you are saying that in a workplace itself, it is for adoption of any of the technology that is related with the reskilling part, or we are gone up with any of the new technology. Like nowadays, Power BI is one of the part. Everyone is thinking that a person who knows about it, a very few people who are very skilled about it, right? So are they okay to adapt that in a market itself? That these are the part how we are going to use these tools, or is it okay that a newcomers or a new person or a person who is working from 10 years or 15 years or from last 30 years in an organization, are they okay to handle this tools or not? So if we are analyzing this overall perspective, first of all, the analysis part that we are doing it, that is one of the first part that we are adapting it. Second one, listing it out the things that a person who are already they have a meta skill part, and we can use them for next level addition part. Like these are the things we are going to come up with in market, or some of the things that a person who can use as a part of cloud computing, or any of the things that they want to do as a for learning aspect, right? So while adapting it in a new perspective, that is one of the biggest challenge nowadays. While retention also, now we already done all these things in our previous organizations. Digitalization mode, automations, industry 4.0, everyone knows about it nowadays. Like what are the shift that we are doing? What are the things from marine engine to then after the machine, then after how we are implementing that thing. So nowadays, a student knows more about it. That is one of the true part. But how it is get implemented, a person who have that knowledge, that only tell about that how it is get implemented, right? But the brain behind it is like अभी इसके आगे कैसे करना है? Now it is more about that. अभी इसमें अगर कुछ ऐड कर दिया and people would come, मैडम ये तो हो नहीं रहा है, आप ही कर दो, ये टूल यूज करना नहीं आता. So that is one of the challenges nowadays also, like we are not much adapted that particular, like from shifting from manual to digitalization mode. Till now it is not much, it is not like 100%, it is not, I can say, but it is like 50%, it is like yes, a person who is well educated, who knows about how we can use a tool, they can use it. But somehow from your blue collars or a person who is not much educated, we need to lead them, like first of all we give a training, we will adapt it. Then after, like a great place to work, they have also many practices that a company need to follow it. But most of the employees, they don't know like इसमें करना क्या है, सर्वे कैसे फिल करना है, इसको ऑनलाइन करना है, आप कर दो हमारे. उनको अगर हम नहीं बताएंगे like which are the things that they don't know, like these are the things that you need to do it, how you need to fill it up, what are the best practices a company is adapting for digital mode, or we are going to shift your work to a automations and goes in a easier way. So they don't understand about it. So what I suggested, like to adapt the persons who are having years of experience also, they also easy to, they can also excel in this particular things. And a new person who's a newcomer, they knows about it, but how we are going to use it easier way for both generation, like for the X and Z, both. So that is also one of the part that where we can shift our things or technology in both the cases. So reskilling in both the things, it is from your manual to till from there to digital mode, whatever technologies we are using. First of all, adoption of things from a new generation to old generation to new generation, that is one.
Yeah, I completely agree. Thanks for your insight. It's really, as you mentioned, really important to understand the population mix in your organization. If we have more blue collar employees, we really need to focus on a different kind of a skill for reskilling them, right? And if we have more corporate employees, then there is a different
In
kind of
India, we have more unskilled people
Exactly,
than skilled
exactly,
people. So
exactly.
we need to understand the market itself. If a person who don't know how to make sure that he knows the things, if we are making any payment, he don't know, madam, मेरे को ऐसा ही चलेगा. So if he don't know about that part, so if we are thinking that we are going to make that changes, so पहले हमको उनका भी सोचना है, जिसको नहीं आता उसको भी सिखाना है. So that is one of the part that person should also understand.
Exactly.
And after shifting of the things from 0 to 100 to 200, that is one of the biggest advantage that we can bring that changes.
And this also adds another perspective that, as I mentioned, we need to do a need analysis of the organization to bring in the digital technology. But we also need to look at the mix of the population we have who can use the technology. Like in organizations where we have it's a sales-driven organization, we need some tools to collaborate and communicate with each other, right? And in organizations where we have a lot of office-based employees, we need a different kind of technology for them to operate. And if organization have work from home, completely hybrid or completely in office, every section has a different requirement, and we need to think about that accordingly. Right? Thanks for your insights. And now I'll move ahead with a question to Shumankar. As I mentioned, the collaboration, teamwork, all this is very important. Though organizations have now started calling their employees to office, but it's not completely, office in office working. We still have work from home. We still have, employees in the hybrid zone. We still have and sales. I don't think life has ever changed for them. It's just for a few months they were at home. Otherwise, salespeople are always in the market. So, given this diverse kind of employees, how do you think you can use the digital technology to increase or maybe help them to do a better teamwork, collaboration, and bringing that sense of being as one team? How do you think that this can bring in some revolution around that?
सही क्वेश्चन पूछा आपने. So
You can add up that point.
yeah. So digital, it's a kind of a boon for us actually. Just like we have in banking, banking has actually grown multifold just because of adoption of digital. And if it is a single branch, maybe in and around that branch could have actually catered to customers. But when they adopted this digital thing, they've actually gone beyond that area, that district, that state, and it has become like a kind of a global thing. So for HR also, specifically, people who are actually focused on sales function, most of the sales people are working remotely. Either they are working from the field, or at times they are working from home. Maybe they might not be even coming to office also regularly. Maybe on Monday or Friday they are coming for recruitment purpose. So for a single HR to have an engagement with 400 or maybe 1,000 people is very difficult. Very difficult. So without digital adoption, simply nowadays it's completely we can't, we will not be able to handle such kind of a large workforce. Now where comes this AI? That's also very important. First is digital adoption. So obviously, people should be able to use the smartphone and at least see, what all things. Yeah. Then comes the Genie part of it. Like for example, if somebody had asked some question previously that, related to PF or salary or leave balance, that same question is being asked by some fifth person or sixth person. Maybe the system will understand that this answer has to be thrown to that. It makes actually life much more easier for the HR guy. So what happens is that for transactional things or for operational things, HR doesn't have to waste their time. They can focus on more strategic discussion and more strategic things. So I guess, yeah. So I somehow feel, without digital intervention, we can't move forward, and AI is definitely playing a very important role. Yes, I completely understand that this had started recently. We are also in the learning phase, and I still don't believe that this will actually cut down the jobs. Like, when computer was also coming, IT was coming, people felt that, it will take care of all the jobs. But has it taken the jobs? I think it had created more jobs. People had to scale up.
Maybe we can say replacing the jobs.
Yes. So I think, it's just a start. And I think
Title it get replaced, I can say.
Yeah.
Only title, but jobs are equal
Yes.
in market.